Hello and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. The shop investigation is over and it looks like we have landed.
I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Tenero and Ms. Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk to Miss Tenero in private. So I'm left wondering just what she was up to. Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation.
Oh, let's listen to this music, because we should know who this is. I'm so glad she's back. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Here's Franny.
Franziska, I thought you were still in Germany.
I go where I am needed, and wherever there are criminals to be caught.
Her name is Franziska von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are.
Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest.
What?
It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame?
Wait, it has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim.
A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. You waited for the victim on the first floor and then beat him to death.
Franziska, do you honestly believe that I killed a man?
And she thinks for a long, long time. I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then.
That's as it should be.
Ha! I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for.
Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together?
I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town.
Trust me, I had no intention to.
Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir.
Oh, and he's back too, yay! Too slow. Whoops, there it is.
Ow!
Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand?
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm supposed to guard him?
A simple yes or no, detective.
Yeah, yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me.
Miles Edgeworth, if you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me.
Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay.
Thank you, Detective.
I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this.
I have to admit I'm a bit curious as to what Franziska is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. So how is the initial investigation going?
We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office. And we're taking statements now, sir.
That sounds like Franziska. She was always good at quick responses to a case.
I'd say she was a little too quick, sir.
Oh, how so?
I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. Somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. And had come in advance to await your flight's arrival.
Well, she heard on the police radio, she just said, right?
That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America.
That we don't know how to explain yet.
There must be some backstory to all of this.
Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up in the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident.
No details?
It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir.
Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, Detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine.
Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate.
Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh.
Well, let's have a chat with the people in the airport really quick.
Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops.
I'm not sure, but I think this is a reference to Rise from the Ashes. I'm really bad with names, but that woman who used to be a detective, but she sells lunchboxes at the prosecutor's office. I think this is her business.
Ooh, I've always wanted to give their steak lunch a try.
Which should I go with? I recommend our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. Oh, that's really cool. I want one.
If you really want one that badly, Detective, why don't you go ahead and buy one?
Because he can't afford it. Oh, maybe he can.
Is that okay, sir? Thanks. Alright then, I'm really gonna get one. Here you go. Excusing, miss. I'll take a Star-Spangled Banner lunchbox, please.
I hope he's aware that that's the most expensive one on the menu.
God, airport food is so expensive. Like, a regular meal at McDonald's is like $15 or something like that. It's been a while since I've flown though.
This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair.
Oh, this is the guy who bought a bunch of life preservers, I think?
I'd be pretty scared too if I got caught up in a murder investigation, sir.
I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. This life vest is proof that I made it alive. It's now my prized possession.
How could you just take that from the plane?
Oh, he just stole it.
It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. It's got nothing to do with the murder, at least.
I can see if Edgeworth, like, kind of lets that slide, but Gumshoe is a policeman. Like, he should probably get on that. But maybe not, because he's Gumshoe.
This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of many planes.
I'm all excited to see this many planes too. Just look at the size of these things.
You like planes too, mister? The balance between main wings and tail wings is really something, huh?
Huh. It seems this child derives his pleasure from a different aspect.
Oh, but I've also got a thing for the shape of the wings too.
Here, mister, you can stand next to me. So about that plane's wing.
Thank you, Detective, for leaving me out of this conversation.
Oh, he's jealous. There's one more guy here. Oh, wait. Let me go from behind. There we go.
Huh? Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's the director. Okay, let's do this. Nom. In Soviet Russia, World Flags lunchboxes eat you.
Mr. Edgeworth, we've got to get him some water.
Found it, lol. Ooh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's so... Oh my gosh, I didn't know. Good job, translators slash localizers, for throwing that meme in here. It's over 9,000 lulz. For my next Leap movie, it's gonna be the Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, versus the World Samurai, Champion of Earth. It's gonna rock through so many boxers.
Ooh, good thing it was a false alarm, right, Mr. Edgeworth? So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie.
Completely ignoring me as usual.
Well, he can't help being like a Steel Samurai mega fan. I think that's everybody. Wait, can we go here? No, we can't go here. Okay, let's go on the plane. Oh, we've got a new character here. So you must be the captain. Why, yes I am. And who might you be? I am the prodigy prosecutor, Francisca von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Ah, don't you dare, Captain. Getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. Well, what are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy.
I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person.
He did allow the investigation, though, so we can't hate him too much.
Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir?
He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Francisca and her whip.
Well, there's the whip. Ah! Edward's just like shrug. Oh, here's the angry foreigner. Now see here.
Ah! Sorry, I'm sorry.
How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to beat a criminal, I told you.
Mr. LeBlanc.
Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Do I have to talk to you?
Did you finish taking a statement yet?
Yup, all done, sir.
I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay.
Art? What sort of art?
Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small.
From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts.
Whole costumes. Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. It kind of looks like that other piece of cloth.
Which we found near the end of the previous episode, inside the suitcase.
Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me?
Oh, it's a Virginian cloth.
As I suspected. Your hat is made of the same material, I suppose?
Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more. Oh, okay, I guess that's important.
Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier?
No. My cargo this time is much many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved?
You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal.
The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendance room too.
That attendant. I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenero.
She just locked herself in? Oh, here's a new option.
What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc?
She was taken into the attendance room for her interview. And then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished my own interview much earlier, quicker than her.
Why is Miss Tenero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time?
Miles Edgeworth, You were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you?
Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room.
Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances.
I understand.
You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking. You can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. It's kind of cool that in this game, and I believe in the next one too, you get... Oh, the music's kind of weird. You get to cross-examine your allies too. It's a little bit of a twist on the usual. Anyway, let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found. The only person in the lounge this entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
The likeliest suspect, Franziska?
You have a problem with that?
No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute.
I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend?
That is a very unique brand of kindness. Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast.
Okay, here we go. That's not anything. Should I press everything? How many statements do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, why not? Oops. Oh, forgot how to press.
Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit?
I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Has that ever worked for any Von Karma ever? Because they keep doing that and it keeps not working.
Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. Ow!
I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence.
I see she hasn't changed a bit. But I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily.
The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered on. I don't need to read these again. What am I doing?
So tell me, Franziska, do you know all that there is to know about the crime scene?
I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you.
And nothing more?
Are you saying there's more I need to know?
Ah! Why did you whip me, sir?
Sorry, Scruffy. My hand must have slipped.
It was seen that Franziska doesn't have all the facts of this case yet.
Yeah, she did just get here. This is maybe a little fishy.
Hold it!
What do you mean by seen?
Oh, that wasn't the part I thought was fishy. Never mind. Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found.
Hold it!
Well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me a criminal.
Objection!
Ha! We'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there's one thing that even you must admit at this time. Okay, last one.
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect.
I don't know about that.
But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. This Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow!
Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal.
Francisca.
I demand to see some proof that you're not the guilty party. New evidence. Now, at first I was thinking it's a little strange for Francisca to be so adamant about arresting Edgeworth because surely she respects him, although she would never admit it. She respects him more than that, but I think she's just waiting for him to give her like absolute proof that he's not guilty. So let's go ahead and do that. This is not true, but I was hoping to get something out of the press function. What do we have? Oh, jeez. Oh. Wait, is it this? Because the body was elsewhere. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. Jeez, it's gotta be this.
Objection!
Yep, there we go.
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all.
And what does that mean?
I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used his suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions?
Excuse me?
All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose the suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth.
I expected you to come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily.
You should know better than that. Von Karma is perfect in every way.
Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there's proof of that. There is proof of that. Okay. Since I took so much time looking at the evidence before,
Take that!
I remembered seeing this. The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator.
Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to the area here. There's the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here. We got some tracks here and present.
Take that!
This mark here, wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels?
I suppose.
Further, there's also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase.
Oops.
This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here.
I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else.
I'm glad you come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. Oh, part 2? You prepared yourself and acquired a piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence. And then you wait, that's already wrong, but we'll get back to that. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator, the victim's body stuffed in the suitcase. Plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly.
Just what are you insinuating?
That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked.
That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass like this.
Yeah. You've shattered my heart of glass.
Oh,
So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Mr. iFlight Bank, does she?
that takes care of how you obtain a murder weapon.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge.
I thought you'd say that. What? Did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splatter in the lounge by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it.
Fair. Are you accusing me of tampering the crime scene? Oh,
Wrong voice.
Are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now?
We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak.
And what do you propose I did after that?
Hold it!
So I put the victim's body into the suitcase, and then where was I headed, Francisca?
That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to first class where you could safely keep an eye on it.
We're talking about this thing, you know. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary.
Annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator, but unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because... turbulence.
Hold it!
that's a really bad suitcase if it's like ugly and stuff flies out of it when we hit turbulence. When it hits turbulence.
You've experienced turbulence in a flight before.
Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while.
The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second.
The thing was only for a sec, sir. It would have been bad if you had really blanked out.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blanking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place.
Same thing happened in Trials and Tribulations.
That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you think I'd be so easily caught?
Objection!
You're certainly in the middle of being caught right now.
Yeah. Oh, she finally hit him and not Gumshoe.
I have to find a contradiction fast, or I won't have very much of my own hide left to save.
I have to say, you are looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge and pretended to be the discoverer of the body.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body.
I suppose that's true.
So then, you're yielding to my statements?
Don't be foolish.
Oh, it's the first foolish of the game.
I still insist that you're the killer, but in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead.
No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. Her logic is reasonably sound, and a large majority of it reflects the truth. But there's one point about it that is not quite right.
Okay, we took a long detour, but the problem is with the first statement because this was taken out of its display case in the in-flight shop after the turbulence.
Objection!
fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared.
Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those would stand in a courtroom must learn to master.
But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix?
A fake?
This Mr. iFly piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon.
What?
The timing of when
Ooh, funky music.
The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. And it was taken after the turbulence had occurred.
But then, what about the blow in the bank? What do you make of that?
I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then, the killer proceeded to pick up the bank from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Hackby Hicks.
You there.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have used were broken during the turbulence. And the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood.
I see.
Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end.
But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. You!
If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I'd think the weapon would be hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth.
Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence. Which means that the real murder weapon is either still in a murderer's personage, or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There is one more possibility.
And that would be...
that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon.
But didn't we just...
Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at that time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means the killer had the key to the display case. Oh, we know where this is going.
Franziska, the person you're talking about...
Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is a sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her.
Yes?
Very well, permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other?
I have no intention of interrogating her. But you're welcome to accompany me if you so wish.
Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Okay, let's end there. My voice is all croaky and weird. Oh, so for like the 3rd episode in a row, Rhoda is under suspicion and now she's locked herself inside her room. Oh, that poor woman. Next time, it looks like we'll be talking to Rhoda to get a bit more information on what exactly she was up to when the murder happened. But let's take a break before we jump in. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.